Healthcare is more than medicine. It's more than technology. It is about the values that those societies hold dear.
Praise for Canada's healthcare system from a high-profile U.S. Senator. Bernie Sanders addresses a crowd at the University of Toronto today. It was a sold-out crowd with lines stretching outside of the U of T auditorium.
All to hear from the former U.S. presidential hopeful who rose to popularity with generations of young voters. CTV's Miranda Anthistle is live at the University of Toronto with the story. Miranda.
Andrea, Sanders was here to learn more about our healthcare system, and he wants to bust myths about it common in the U.S., which he calls intentional lies to convince Americans that their healthcare system is actually working.
Healthcare is a right.
U.S. Senator Bernie Sanders wants America to take notes from its northern neighbor when it comes to healthcare.
There's so much to be learned, and we will take back what we learned here and what we know about the Canadian healthcare system to the United States Congress and to the American people.
The former presidential candidate is lobbying for healthcare reform in his country and is here in Toronto to learn more about our system.
This is awesome, an exciting time to be here, exciting time to hear from his vision, his views on healthcare, on pharmacare.
Following a tour with the Premier to 3 local hospitals, Sanders is praising the Canadian single-payer healthcare system, but says it's not without its own challenges.
You are also paying some of the highest prices in the world for prescription drugs.
Dr. Danielle Martin, well known for schooling a U.S. Senator on Canadian healthcare, says there are lessons to take away from Sanders' visit.
What is it that we're going to do to achieve something even better for the next generation? And that's what we see Senator Sanders trying to do in the U.S., is to broaden the conversation beyond just Washington and Capitol Hill to the people of the United States. And I think that's a lesson that Canada can learn from him.
The sold-out crowd of 1,600 was predominantly young people, many of whom say they were inspired by Sanders' speech.
He's been really inspiring for a lot of us, I think, and just being able to see him talk about issues that we all really care about was really exciting.
What an inspirational speech that was for the value of healthcare in this country, how it can be improved, and progressive values across the board.
It was so amazing to see him here today, and I'm so glad I was able to make it.
The presidential candidate, who ran on a platform focused on universal healthcare, is urging Canadians to appreciate what we have.
When you accomplish something significant, like guaranteeing healthcare to all people, stand up and defend that all over the world.
Sanders went on to encourage more grassroots movements. He said we need to stand up to pharmaceutical companies and tell them that they cannot continue to rip people off. And Sanders concluded by saying that politics should be important to everyone. Reporting live, I'm Miranda Anthistle. Colin, I'll send it over to you.
Thank you, Miranda.